The air in the great hall smelled of metal and sharp spice. Marcus Cole's boots scraped against the polished black floor as guards pulled him forward. Heavy chains clinked around his wrists and ankles. His left eye was swollen shut from the beating he took during capture. Blood had dried on his lip. He kept his head up anyway. The hall was huge. Tall pillars of glowing crystal rose to a ceiling so high it felt like the night sky. Hundreds of Valkyries stood along the walls. They were tall and thin, their bodies covered in smooth, shining plates that looked like frozen water. Their faces had large black eyes and small mouths. Antennae moved slowly above their heads. They watched him like he was a strange bug brought in for study. At the far end, on a raised throne of white stone, stood the Princess Queen. Her name was Queen Vera. She wore a long robe of deep blue that shimmered when she moved. Her carapace, the hard shell on her chest and shoulders, was thicker and brighter than the others. Next to her stood a younger Valkyrie girl, smaller. Her plates were still pale and thin, like new glass. She kept her eyes low. Her hands were clasped tight in front of her. Marcus knew who she was. Princess Lyria, the heir, the one everyone whispered about. The guards forced him to his knees. The chain pulled hard. He grunted but did not cry out. A Valkyrie officer in silver armor stepped forward. He spoke in their clicking language, then switched to Galactic Standard for the prisoner. Marcus Cole, human, age 34 standard years, former Earth Marine, leader of Cell Gamma 7 on Epsilon Verge, guilty of sabotage, murder of 12 Dominion soldiers, destruction of supply depot Delta 9. Sentence is death by void drop. The hall stayed quiet. No cheers, no boos. Valkyrie did not show feelings that way. Queen Vera raised one long hand. The officer stopped. She walked down the steps, slow, graceful. Her robe brushed the floor without sound. When she reached Marcus, she looked down at him. Her black eyes studied his face like she was reading a report. "You fought well," she said in clear, calm standard. Her voice had a soft echo, like wind through crystal. "You killed many of my people, yet you stand here, unbroken." Marcus met her gaze. "I stand because your guards are sloppy." A few low clicks came from the crowd. Surprise, maybe anger. The queen did not react. She turned to her daughter. "Lyra, come." The princess stepped forward. Her antenna trembled a little. She stopped beside her mother and looked at Marcus. Her eyes were wide, not angry, not afraid exactly, curious. Queen Vera placed a hand on Lyra's shoulder. "This human is different from the others we have seen. Humans do not break easily. They hold grudges. And, when they choose to protect something, they protect it with everything they have, even their lives." She looked back at Marcus. "I have watched your kind for many cycles. You are not the strongest, not the fastest, but you are stubborn. You keep going when logic says stop. That is a weapon stronger than any blade." Marcus narrowed his good eye. "What do you want?" "I want my daughter to live," the queen said simply. The hall went completely still. Queen Vera turned to Lyra again. "Many in this court want you gone. They see you as weak, young, easy to replace with their own blood. They whisper, they plan, they wait for the right moment. Your father is far away, fighting on the rim. I cannot watch you every hour. But he," she pointed at Marcus, "can." Lyra blinked fast. "Mother." The queen knelt so she was eye level with her daughter. "He will guard you, day and night. He will stand between you and the knives that come in the dark." She stood again, looked at Marcus. "You will protect her." It was not a question. Marcus laughed once, short, dry. "And if I say no, then you die here, now, and she dies soon after, alone." He looked at the princess. She was staring at him. Not begging, just watching. Waiting to see what kind of creature this scarred human really was. Marcus felt the chains bite into his skin. He felt the ache in his ribs. He thought of the resistance fighters still hiding in the hills. He thought of the friends he had already lost. He thought of Earth, far away, half forgotten, but still home. He looked back at the queen. "You think a collar and chains will make me loyal?" "No," she said. "I think your own nature will." She nodded to the guards. They unlocked his wrist chains, but left the ankle ones. Another guard brought a thin silver band. It opened like a mouth. They placed it around Marcus's neck. It clicked shut. A small red light blinked once. "Neural restraint," the queen explained. "It will stop you from harming any Valkyrie of royal blood. It will also remind you who holds the key." Marcus felt a faint buzz against his skin. Not painful. Just there. Always there. Queen Vera stepped closer. She spoke low, so only he and Lyra could hear. "Know this, human. If she dies, you die. Slowly, in ways your people have not yet imagined. But if she lives, if she grows strong, then perhaps one day you walk free. Perhaps you even see your world again." Marcus said nothing. The queen turned to the court. Her voice rose. "From this day, Marcus Cole is the sworn shield of Princess Lyra. He answers to no one but her and me. Any hand raised against him is raised against the throne." Murmurs spread like wind through dry grass. Others stared with cold, hard eyes. Queen Vera looked down at Marcus one last time. "Stand up." He did, slow. The ankle chains rattled. She placed Lyra's small hand on his arm. The princess flinched at first. His skin was warm, rough, human. Then she held on. "Protect her," the queen said again. This time it sounded almost soft. Marcus looked at the girl beside him. She was scared. She was alone. She was the reason he was still breathing. He gave a small nod. "I will." The queen stepped back. The guards pulled him toward a side door. Lyra walked beside him. Her steps were short, nervous. As they left the hall, Marcus felt every eye on his back. He did not know if he had just been given a chance, or a death sentence. But one thing was clear. The job had started, and he would do it his way. The palace corridors were long and cold. Lights glowed soft blue from strips in the walls. Marcus walked 2 steps behind Princess Lyra. His ankle chains were gone now, but the silver collar stayed around his neck. It felt light, but he knew what it could do. One wrong thought toward royalty, and pain would flood his brain, or worse. Lyra moved like she was trying not to be seen. Her feet made almost no sound on the smooth floor. She wore a simple gray robe today, not the fancy ones from the throne room. Her antennae twitched every few seconds, listening for things Marcus could not hear. They passed servants who bowed low. Some looked at Marcus with open hate. Others looked curious. One young Valkyrie male with thin arms stared too long. Marcus stared back. The male looked away fast. Lyra stopped at a wide window that looked out over the city. Spires rose like needles into the pink sky. Flying vehicles moved in neat lines far below. She pressed her palm to the glass. "You do not talk much," she said. Her voice was quiet. "Guards don't talk unless needed," Marcus answered. "You are not a normal guard." "I'm not normal anything." She turned to face him. Her black eyes searched his face. "Why did you agree?" "I didn't have a choice." "You could have died proud. Humans do that. I read about it. Your history is full of people who chose death over chains." Marcus leaned against the wall. His ribs still hurt from the capture. "Death is easy. Living is harder. If I die here, no one back home knows what happened to me." No one gets a chance to fight smarter next time. If I stay alive, maybe I learn something useful. Lyra tilted her head. Like what? Like how your people think, how your court works, where the weak spots are. She looked down. You think my mother will lose the war? I think wars end when one side stops fighting. Your father is out there, bleeding on some rock. Your mother sits here holding everything together. But the nobles, he nodded toward the corridor behind them. They smell blood. They want the throne for themselves. Lyra wrapped her arms around her middle. I know, I hear the whispers. They call me soft, unready. They say a real heir would have hardened plates by now. Marcus looked at her chest. Her carapace was thin in places, almost see-through at the edges. How old are you? 16 cycles, almost 17. In human years? She thought. About 15 of your years. You're a kid. And kids get targeted first. They started walking again. Lyra led him to a small garden room. Plants with glowing leaves grew in pots along the walls. A fountain made soft water sounds in the center. No guards here. Just the two of them. Marcus stayed standing. Sit, she said. He sat. The bench was too small for him. His knees stuck out. Tell me about humans, she said. What do you want to know? Why do you smile when you're angry? Marcus almost laughed. We do a lot of things that don't make sense to other species. Smiling when angry is one. It shows teeth. Teeth are weapons. It's a warning without saying words. Lyra touched her own small mouth. No teeth showed. We click when angry, or flare our plates. See? Different tools, same job. She looked at his hands. Rough, scarred. Show me how you fight without weapons. Marcus held up his right hand, made a fist. This is a hammer. He opened it flat. This is a blade. He jabbed quick with stiff fingers. This is a spear. Then he grabbed an imaginary throat. This stops breathing. Lyra watched close. Teach me. You're Velkari. You have claws, strength in your legs. I want to learn the human way. Marcus studied her. She was serious, not playing. All right, first lesson. Spot danger before it moves. He pointed to the door. Watch how people walk in. Fast steps mean hurry. Slow steps mean planning. Eyes that flick to you then away mean hiding something. She nodded slow. Second, never turn your back to a room with more than one exit. He stood, walked her to the fountain. Stand here. Back to the wall, eyes on the door. She did. Good. Now if someone comes at you, step sideways. Use their speed against them. He moved slow, pretending to grab her. She stepped left. Awkward, but right direction. Better, he said. Again. They practiced for an hour. Simple moves. How to break a grip. How to push someone off balance. Lyra learned fast. Her body was light, flexible. After, she sat again, breathing a little hard. Why do humans fight so much? She asked. Because we can lose everything. Home, family, freedom. Once you know what that feels like, you fight dirty to keep it. She looked at the glowing plants. I have never lost anything. Not really. You will, Marcus said, if you want to live. Her antenna drooped. I do not want to be queen yet. I just want to be safe. Marcus looked at her. Small, alone, scared. Then we make you safe, he said, one day at a time. That night the first attempt came. They walked back from the garden through a quiet hall. Torches burned low. Shadows danced on the walls. Marcus felt it before he saw it. A prickle on his neck. The air changed. Too still. He grabbed Lyra's arm, pulled her behind a pillar. Stay low, he whispered. A soft whine came from above, high on the balcony. A figure in black cloak. Something long and thin in their hands. Gravitic needle rifle. One shot. Silent. Instant death. Marcus moved without thinking. He pushed Lyra flat to the floor, covered her with his body. The shot came. A hiss. The needle hit Marcus's shoulder. Not deep, glancing, but it burned like fire. He felt blood run hot down his arm. He rolled off her, saw the shooter already moving to aim again. Marcus ran straight at the balcony. No weapon, no plan, just rage. The shooter fired again, missed. Marcus jumped, grabbed the railing, pulled himself up. The assassin was Valkyrie, young, eyes wide with fear now. Marcus punched once, hard, nose broke, blood sprayed. The rifle fell, clattered below. Marcus grabbed the assassin's throat, lifted him, slammed him against the wall. "Who sent you?" The Valkyrie choked, tried to claw at Marcus's face. "Name." "Ah, H. House Kalar," the assassin gasped. Marcus dropped him. The body hit the floor, unconscious. Below, Lyra stood up. Her robe was dirty, her eyes huge. Marcus jumped down, landed heavy, winced at his shoulder. She stared at the blood on his shirt. You took the shot for me. Part of the job." Guards ran in now, late, shouting, weapons out. Marcus raised his good hand. Threats down, up there. They looked, saw the body, saw the rifle. Lyra stepped forward, voice shaky but clear. "This human saved me. He is my shield. No one touches him." The guards hesitated, then bowed. Marcus pressed his hand to his shoulder. Blood kept coming. Lyra touched his arm, gentle. "Come, we need to fix that." They walked away together, guards behind, courtiers watching from doors. Marcus felt eyes everywhere. He knew this was only the start. The collar buzzed once, soft warning. He ignored it. He had a job to do, and he was just getting started. The days after the first attack passed in a quiet storm. Marcus's shoulder healed slow. The wound left a thick scar under his shirt. Every morning he woke with the collar's faint buzz against his skin. A reminder. He ignored it. Lyra changed a little each day. She walked taller now. Her eyes scanned rooms before she entered. When servants came close, she stepped back just enough to keep space. Marcus taught her that trick. She learned fast. They spent time in quiet places. A small library high in the palace. Shelves of crystal tablets that glowed when touched. Marcus could not read Valkyrie's script, but Lyra read aloud. Stories of old wars. Tales of queens who ruled alone. She spoke soft, like she was afraid the walls would hear. One afternoon she stopped reading, looked at him. "Why do humans write so much about losing?" Marcus sat on the floor, back against a shelf. "Because losing hurts the most. We write it down so we don't forget why we fight next time." Lyra closed the tablet. "I do not want to lose my mother." "Then we keep her safe too." But the court moved faster than they could. It happened during a private audience. Queen Vera called them to her personal chamber. No guards inside, just heavy doors and thick walls. The room smelled of warm oil and flowers. The queen sat on a low couch. Her robe was plain today. Tired lines marked her face. Lyra sat beside her. Marcus stood near the door, hands loose at his sides. The queen spoke first. "The front lines grow thin. Your father sends word that the enemy presses hard. We need more ships, more soldiers. The nobles promise help, but only if I name a new heir." Lyra stiffened. "They want me gone." "Yes," the queen said. "House Kalar leads them. They say you are too young, too soft. They offer their own daughter instead." Marcus spoke. "They tried once. They'll try again." The queen looked at him. "I know. That is why you are here." She reached for a small box on the table, opened it. Inside lay a thin silver key, small enough to hide in a palm. "This unlocks your collar," she said. If I fall, use it. Take Lyra. Run. Find allies among the outer colonies. Humans have friends there. Tell them the true heir lives. Marcus stared at the key. You trust me that much? I trust what you are, she answered. A human who does not quit. Lyra reached for her mother's hand. You will not fall. The queen smiled, sad. We all fall sometime. Then the air changed. A soft hiss came from the vents above. Gas, colorless, no smell at first, then sharp, burning. Marcus moved fast. Down, he grabbed Lyra, pulled her to the floor. The queen tried to stand, coughed hard. Marcus ripped his shirt, tore strips, wrapped one around Lyra's face, tied it tight. Breathe through this. He did the same for the queen, then himself. The cloth helped a little, not enough. The door stayed shut, locked from outside. Marcus ran to the vents, jumped, grabbed the edge, pulled himself up, punched the metal grill. It bent. He tore it free, reached inside, found a small canister, yanked it out, threw it to the floor. It cracked. Gas poured faster. No good. He dropped down, looked around, saw a side panel in the wall. Emergency air recycler. Small, meant for one person. He tore it open, dragged Lyra over. Inside. Now. She shook her head. Mother. Inside. Marcus pushed her in, sealed the panel. The recycler hummed. Clean air for her. At least for a while. The queen slumped against the couch, eyes fluttering. Marcus knelt beside her, checked her breathing, shallow. He stood, faced the door. It opened. 2 Velkari guards stepped in, elite, black armor, blades in their hands. Faces hidden behind masks. They saw the queen down, saw Marcus standing. No weapon. One spoke. Step aside, human. Marcus smiled, teeth showing. No. They rushed him. Marcus dodged the first blade, grabbed the arm, twisted hard, bone snapped. The guard screamed. Marcus took the blade, drove it into the second guard's neck. Blood sprayed green. The first guard swung again, weak now. Marcus caught the wrist, pulled, slammed the guard's head into the wall. Once, twice, the body dropped. Marcus turned back to the queen. She reached for him, hand shaking. Protect her. Her eyes closed. Marcus felt something break inside. Not sadness yet. Rage first. He checked the recycler. Lyra safe, breathing steady. He dragged the queen's body to the side, covered her with her robe. Then he took the silver key from her hand, slipped it into his pocket. The collar buzzed hard. He was thinking violent thoughts toward royalty. The pain started, sharp, in his skull. He gritted his teeth, ignored it. He opened the recycler door. Lyra crawled out, saw her mother. She made a small sound, not a scream, just broken. Marcus knelt. We have to go. She stared at the body. She is, yes. Lyra touched her mother's face, antennae drooping. Marcus stood. They locked us in, but they will come back, more of them. He went to the door, listened. Footsteps outside, many. He looked around, saw a service hatch in the ceiling, small, hidden. He jumped, pulled it open. Dark tunnel above. Up, he said. Lyra climbed first, slow, shaking. Marcus followed, pulled the hatch shut behind them. They crawled through tight metal, dust and old air. Lyra cried quiet. Marcus said nothing, just kept moving. After long minutes, they dropped into a storage room. Low lights, boxes of supplies. Marcus barred the door with a heavy crate. Lyra sat on the floor, hugging her knees. They killed her, she whispered. Yes, for me, for power. She looked up, eyes wet. What now? Marcus touched the collar, felt the key in his pocket. Now we run. He took out the key, held it up. Your mother gave me this. Said if she fell, I take you. We go. Lara stared at the key. I cannot leave her. You have to, or they win. She closed her eyes, took a breath, opened them again. Harder now. Unlock it. Marcus pressed the key to the collar. It clicked. The red light died. The band opened, fell to the floor. He rubbed his neck, skin raw. Free. For the first time since the throne room. He looked at Lara. You ready? She stood, wiped her face. Yes. They moved to a side door, peered out. Empty corridor. Marcus led. Lyra followed close. Alarms started far away. Soft at first, then loud. The palace woke. They ran, through back halls, down service stairs, past kitchens, past empty rooms. They reached a loading dock. Small ships waited. One courier vessel. Fast, unarmed. Marcus forced the hatch, hot-wired the controls. Old marine trick. Engines hummed. They climbed in. Lyra sat in the co-pilot seat, hands tight on the arms. Marcus took the pilot chair. Where to? She asked. Away, he said. Then we find people who hate the same nobles we do. He pushed the throttle. The ship lifted, shot out of the dock. Behind them, palace guns lit up. Too late. They climbed into the black. Marcus looked at Lyra. She stared out the window. At the stars. Her mother's stars. Her stars now. He spoke quiet. I'm sorry. She nodded once. Then she said, Protect me. It was not a question. Marcus gripped the controls tighter. I will. The ship jumped to hyperspace. The small courier ship hummed through the dark between stars. No windows in the cockpit, just screens showing cold data. Stars streaked past in hyperspace. Marcus sat in the pilot chair, hands steady on the controls. Lyra sat beside him. She had not spoken for hours. Her antennae hung low, eyes fixed on nothing. The ship dropped out of jump near a fringe system called Corin 9, a dusty rock with one small port. Humans ran most of it, smugglers, traders, people who hated the Dominion enough to take risks. Marcus landed the ship in a quiet bay, paid the docking fee with credits he found in the emergency kit. No questions asked. Good. They stepped out into hot, dry air. Dust blew across cracked concrete. Ships of every make sat in rows. Some looked like they would never fly again. Lyra pulled her hood low. Her pale carapace would stand out too much here. Marcus walked ahead. Looked for trouble. A human mechanic with grease on his face spotted them. Tall man, missing 2 fingers on his left hand. He walked over slow. You the ones who jumped out of the Capitol run? He asked. Marcus kept his face blank. Maybe. The man grinned. Word travels fast. Palace in chaos. Queen dead. Princess missing. They say a human took her. Marcus said nothing. The mechanic looked at Lyra. That her? Lyra lifted her chin. I am Princess Lyra. The man whistled low. Damn. You got balls, girl, or whatever Velkari got. Marcus stepped between them. We need a place to hide, and people who can fight. The mechanic nodded toward a low building with a flickering sign. Bar called the Rusty Bolt. Ask for Reyes. Tell him Jack sent you. They went inside. The bar smelled of smoke and cheap liquor. Lights dim. Humans and a few aliens sat at tables. Music played soft from old speakers. A woman behind the counter looked up. Short hair. Scar across her cheek. Eyes hard. Reyes? Marcus asked. She jerked her thumb toward a back door. They walked through, down a short hall, into a small room with maps on the walls. A man sat at a table, older, gray hair, missing an eye, patch over it. Reyes looked at Marcus, then at Lyra. Jack said you might come, he said. Sit. They sat. Reyes leaned forward. Queen's dead. Usurper prince moving fast. Declared martial law. Hunting you two with every ship he has. Lyra spoke. I am the rightful heir. Reyes laughed once. Rightful don't mean much out here. Power does. Marcus said, we need allies, ships, weapons. Reyes studied him. Why should we help? Last time humans helped Velkari, we got colonies burned. Because she is different, Marcus said. She learned from me. She fights dirty now. She won't forget what humans did for her. Lara looked at Reyes. My mother trusted him with my life. I trust him with the throne. Help us, and humans get a voice in the new dominion. No more second class, no more callers. Reyes thought long, then nodded. All right, but you prove it first. He slid a datapad across the table. Supply convoy leaving in 2 days. Dominion weapons, heading to the front. Hit it. Bring back proof. Then we talk more. Marcus took the pad, looked at the route, looked at Lara. She nodded. We'd do it. 2 days later they had a crew. 10 humans, rough, angry, good with guns, 2 old fighters, 1 fast scout ship. They jumped to the convoy path, waited in the dark of an asteroid belt. The convoy came. 3 big haulers, 4 escort fighters. Marcus flew the scout, Lara beside him. She wore a human flight suit now. Too big, but she looked ready. Hit the escorts first, Marcus said over comms. Then, board the middle hauler. The fight started fast. Human ships screamed out from the rocks. Lasers flashed. 1 escort exploded in silence. Lara gripped the armrest. They are fast. Velkari always are, Marcus said, but we are meaner. He dove, slid under a fighter, fired rear guns, hit engines. The fighters spun away. Another escort turned on them. Missiles away. Marcus rolled hard. Lara gasped. Trust me, he said. He pulled up sharp, let the missile chase its tail into an asteroid. Boom! The haulers tried to run. Too slow. Human boarders jumped across, cut into the middle ship. Marcus docked rough, airlock sealed. They stormed in. Velkari crew fought hard, blades and stunners. Marcus moved like water, dodged, grabbed, broke arms. Lara stayed close, used a short blade he gave her, stabbed once when a guard got too near. Green blood on her hands. She did not flinch. They took the bridge. Crew surrendered. Marcus looked at Lara. You okay? She nodded. It felt right. They loaded crates of weapons. Data cores with codes. Proof. Back at the rusty bolt, Reyes watched the feed. He smiled. You two are trouble. Lara spoke. We need more. Reyes stood. You got it. Word spreads. Humans on the rim listen when you hit the Dominion hard. Weeks passed. They hit more convoys, small at first, then bigger. Lara changed more. Her carapace grew thicker. Darker lines appeared, like scars, human scars. She moved faster, thought sharper. When she spoke to crews, they listened. One night on a hidden base, she sat with Marcus outside under strange stars. I feel different, she said. He looked at her. You are. My body, it adapts. Near you, near humans, it learns. Marcus nodded. Maybe we rub off. She touched the marks on her arm. These are from the fights, but they feel good. He smiled small. Welcome to being humanish. She laughed. First time he heard it. Soft. Clear. They built a fleet slow, old ships patched together. Human pilots, some Velkari who defected, tired of the old ways. Lara gave speeches on pirate channels, short, strong. I am Lara, true heir. The court killed my mother. They will kill you next if we let them. Join us. Fight with us. We build something new. People listened. Marcus taught her more. How to read a room. How to lie with truth. How humans turn fear into anger. Anger into power. One day she stood in front of 50 fighters. All species. All angry. She spoke loud. The Dominion says we are weak. They say humans are beasts. But beasts protect their own. And I am one of them now. showed the scars. This is what happens when a Valkyrie stands with humans. We grow stronger, together. Cheers rose. Marcus watched from the back, arms crossed. He felt proud, strange feeling. The usurper prince sent hunters, elite squads. They came close twice. Marcus ambushed them both times, left no survivors. Word spread wider. The galaxy whispered, "The princess has a human shadow, and she is no longer soft." Lyra sat with Marcus late one night, planning the final push. "We go to the Grand Conclave," she said, "where he claims the throne." Marcus nodded. "Risky." "I know." He looked at her. "You ready to kill him?" She met his eyes. "If he stands in my way, yes." Marcus put a hand on her shoulder. Gentle. "Then we end it." She covered his hand with hers. "Thank you," she said, "for protecting me." He shook his head. "You protect me now too." Fierce. The fleet gathered. Ships old and new. Humans, Valkyrie, others. All for one girl who learned to fight like a human. The throne waited, and they were coming. The fleet gathered in the shadow of a dead moon. Old freighters patched with scrap metal, fast scouts with fresh paint over old scars. A few stolen Dominion cruisers that had switched sides. Humans piloted most. Some Valkyrie flew with them too. Faces hard, eyes bright with hope or revenge. Lyra stood on the bridge of the lead ship, the old courier they had escaped in, now called Queen's Blade. She wore black armor that fit her now. Her carapace shone dark and strong. Scars marked it like battle lines. She looked taller, fiercer. Marcus stood beside her, one hand on the back of her chair, the other near his sidearm. The Grand Conclave waited on the capital world, a huge dome of crystal and steel, where the throne sat empty, where the usurper prince, Lord Kalar, would claim it today. Thousands of nobles would watch, ships in orbit, guns ready. Lyra spoke to the fleet over open channel. "This is Lyra, true heir to the Dominion. Today we take back what was stolen. My mother died so I could live, so we could live free. No more poison, no more knives in the dark. Fight with me, fight for yourselves, and when it ends, no one kneels unless they choose to." Static. Then cheers. Loud, raw, human cheers mixed with Valkyrie clicks. Marcus looked at her. "You sound like you mean it." "I do," she said. He nodded once. "Then let's go get your chair back." The jump came fast. The fleet dropped out of hyperspace right above the capital. Alarms screamed across the planet. Dominion ships turned to face them. Too many, too new, too clean. Marcus took the pilot's seat. Lyra sat co-pilot. "Ramming formation," he ordered the fleet. "Freighters first, punch holes, then we board." The freighters accelerated, heavy, loaded with scrap and explosives. They flew straight at the enemy line. Lasers flashed. One freighter died quick, exploded in white fire, slammed into shields, cracked them. Dominion ships reeled. Scouts darted in, picked off damaged fighters. The Queen's Blade slipped through the chaos. Marcus flew low, skimmed the atmosphere. Heat shields glowed red. They aimed for the conclave dome, a side hangar, small, guarded. Marcus hit the thrusters, landed hard. Metal screamed. They were in. Troops poured out behind them. Human Marines, Valkyrie defectors, all armed. Lyra led, blade in hand, Marcus at her side, gun ready. The halls were wide, white stone, banners of old houses. Guards waited, elite, black armor, long spears. They charged. Marcus fired first, dropped two. Lyra moved like shadow, sliced one across the throat. Green blood sprayed. She did not pause. They pushed deeper, room by room, fight by fight. A squad blocked a wide corridor. 10 guards, heavy guns. Marcus threw a smoke grenade. Human-made, thick gray cloud. Tackled one. Broke his neck. Took the gun. Fired into the smoke. Lyra followed. Spun. Cut. Her blade sang. When the smoke cleared, the guards were down. She breathed hard. Looked at Marcus. "You bleed," she said. He touched his side. Red on his fingers. Shallow cut. Old habit. They kept moving. The throne room doors were huge. Gold and crystal. Locked. Marcus placed charges. Small. Precise. "Back," he said. Boom. The doors blew inward. Smoke rolled out. They stepped through. The throne room was full. Nobles in bright robes, all standing, staring. At the far end, the throne. White stone. Empty no more. Lord Kalar sat there. Tall, thick carapace, gold crown on his head. Guards around him. 20, best of the best. He stood slow, smiled thin. So the lost princess returns, with her pet human. Lyra stepped forward, voice clear, loud. "I am no pet. I am queen." Kalar laughed. "You are a child playing dress-up. Your mother failed. You will too." Marcus moved to her side, gun low. Kalar looked at him. "And you, the savage who thinks he can stand with royalty?" Marcus smiled, teeth showing. "I don't think. I do." Kalar waved a hand. His guards charged. The fight exploded. Marcus dropped to one knee, fired steady, dropped 3, reloaded fast. Lyra spun into the mass, blade flashing. She took a hit to the shoulder, staggered, kept going. Marcus saw her falter. Rage rose. He ran straight at the guards around Kalar. No plan, just forward. One guard swung a spear. Marcus ducked, punched up, broke jaw, took the spear, spun it, stabbed another. A blade caught his leg, deep. He fell to one knee. Lyra screamed his name. She fought harder, faster, cut through 2 guards to reach him. Kalar watched, smiled. Marcus looked up, blood on his face. "Finish it," he said to her. Lyra nodded. She charged Kalar. He drew his own blade, long, curved. They met in front of the throne. Steel rang on steel. Kalar was strong, fast, pushed her back. She blocked, slipped, cut his arm. He roared, swung hard. The blade caught her side, sliced deep. She dropped to one knee. Marcus tried to stand. Leg would not hold. Kalar raised his blade for the kill. Lyra looked at Marcus, then at the throne. She surged up, not graceful, raw. She drove her blade into Kalar's chest, through the plates, deep. He gasped, eyes wide. She twisted. He fell. Silence. The room went still. Guards stopped. Nobles stared. Lyra stood over the body, breathing hard, blood on her hands, on her armor. She turned, walked to Marcus. He lay on the floor, bleeding bad. Pressed her hand to his wound. "Stay with me," she said. He tried to smile. "Job's done." "No," she said, "not yet." Medics ran in, human medics from the fleet. They worked fast, stopped the bleeding, lifted him. Lyra stood. She faced the room. Her voice carried. "The usurper is dead. The throne is mine." No one moved. She walked to the throne, climbed the steps, sat. The crown lay on the floor. Kalar's crown. She picked it up, placed it on her head. "I am Queen Lyra, first of the new line." She looked at the nobles. "Some of you killed my mother. Some of you watched. Some of you helped." She paused. "I could kill you all. I have the power now." Whispers. "But I will not today." She looked at Marcus, on a stretcher, alive, barely. This human protected me, bled for me, taught me strength, loyalty. The human way. She stood. "So hear me. Humans are no longer tools, no longer lesser. They are guardians of the throne, equals. Any who harm them answer to me, She looked around. And any who stand with me, stand with the future. Silence. Then one noble bowed, then another, then more. The room filled with bows. Lyra sat again. The crown felt heavy, but right. Days later, Marcus woke in a medical bay. White walls, soft lights. Lyra sat beside him. No armor, simple robe. He blinked. Did we win? She smiled, small, real, yes. He looked at her crown. Looks good on you. She touched it. It feels strange. You'll get used to it. She took his hand, gentle. You almost died. Almost doesn't count. She leaned close. Thank you. He squeezed her hand. You saved me too. She stayed quiet a moment. I am changing the laws. Humans get land, rights, seats at court. And you, she looked at him. You stay, not as guard, as advisor, as friend, as whatever you want to be. Marcus looked at the ceiling, thought of Earth, thought of the war, thought of her. I'll stay, he said. Someone has to keep you out of trouble. She laughed. Soft. The galaxy changed slow. New treaties. Old houses bent or broke. Humans walked free on worlds they once worked as slaves. And on the throne world, a human stood always at the queen's side. Scarred, quiet, loyal. The whispers spread. Never trust your heir to a human, because once you do, they keep her safe, and she keeps the stars.